Today, not so cool. We did make it into the upper 90s again, but yesterday we hit 100, so we're doing pretty good, I guess. You know.
Well, when you look back at July, it hasn't been as bad as it has been in past years.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. We've had more days in July below normal versus not, but outside right now things are nice and quiet. We do have very clear skies. You can see that part of our Lucky Star Skycam network. All of our different cameras, especially downtown, with all the bright lights you can see from the distance. I mean, things are just very quiet for the time being. So the heat dome, it is very much taking over for the most part. Now let's go to Links 1 and just kind of look at the calendar. So far for the month of July, we've had 12 days below normal. So wherever you see that blue, that's the day that we had temperatures below normal. So we did have a pretty nice weekend last weekend, but you know, as we get into this weekend, temperatures will likely stay above normal. Yesterday, we had that one day where we hit 100 degrees, and we could still do that later on, even especially this week. But last year, we had 24 times where we actually hit 100 degrees. But we're not there this evening, that's for sure. We're certainly starting to cool down just a little bit. That's our downtown camera up of our Lucky Star Skycam network, 82 degrees, a south-southeast wind right now at 8 miles an hour. Temperatures range from that low to mid 80s across the north. We have some mid and upper 70s in southeast Oklahoma and still some upper 80s in the southwest. In fact, 88 degrees right now in Kingfisher, 85 in Stillwater, 85 in Shawnee, and 83 degrees right now in Byers with that southeast wind between about 5 to 15. And that's going to be key here because yesterday this wind was coming in out of the southwest. That kind of helps to pull in that warmer air. So we're doing pretty good. The exception being the dew points. So with more dew points or higher dew points, it's going to be more humid. So especially east of I-35, we've got the low to even some mid 70s showing up. But out west, it is a little drier, at least relatively speaking. But the heat dome, it's going to be sticking with us for the next several days. But eventually, it does look like we're going to see this pattern change. And it's going to go back to what we were kind of experiencing a couple weeks ago, where we started to get those storm systems moving in from the northwest out of the Rockies. So maybe here in about midweek of next week, it looks like that heat dome should start to shift back to the west. And then eventually, we're going to be more of a northwest flow. And that's going to allow for more storm chances that should lead to eventually slightly cooler temperatures. Tonight, though, dropping down to about 74 degrees in Oklahoma City, 76 in Ponca City, 77 in Alva, 76 in Lawton, also holding on to those mid and upper 70s down in southeast Oklahoma. And that's pretty much where we already are in the southeast. So temperatures will be holding steady with a south to southeast wind between about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Overnight and into tomorrow morning, there is a slight chance that some of the storms that we currently have over the Rockies and the plains will eventually make their way to the southeast in northwest Oklahoma. Right now, the better chances will be staying in the Panhandle, but we have about a 10% chance in Woodward, also in Alva, but Oklahoma City, I think we stay out of that for now. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to get real close to about 100 degrees again. But for now, we're going with 99 in Oklahoma City, but 101 in Ponca City, 102 in Alva, 104 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon in Hobart, 105 in Altus. That wind's still going to be out of the south between about 10 to 20 miles an hour. And again, it's not out of the southwest, so we have a little bit more potential of staying just under 100 degrees here in Oklahoma City, but can't really say that for the rest of the state. So no matter where you go in the state, it's just going to be dangerously hot. You have to take those necessary heat precautions, limit your time outdoors, stay hydrated, check in your elderly neighbors. We're talking about 102 degrees in Ponca City come Friday afternoon, but 102 in Alva, 102 degrees in Guyman, Woodward, Clinton, 104 though down in Hobart, and 105 in Altus, 103 in Lawton. So these numbers, they're going to be sticking with us for quite some time. So we already have the heat advisory that's in effect, and that covers northern and central, all of southern Oklahoma. Technically, it does not cover western Oklahoma because the humidity won't be as high, but the air temperature itself is still going to be in the low 100s. So no matter what, you just have to take those necessary heat precautions. It could feel anywhere between about 105 to 110 at its peak. And we're going to be staying kind of right around there, at least through about early next week. August comes in hot. Tuesday, 100 degrees. After that, we start to see that pattern break down a little bit. That does not mean it's going to be cool, but that means temperatures should go the other direction. Guys, back to you.
Cassie.